I've started.
All right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on Educare's students and staff attendance module. In fact, we are going to talk a lot about this and many more insights. For example, we're going to be talking about safeguarding also, which is a very necessary aspect for our daily routine in our schools, in managing our schools. So as we prepare for the new academic session, we'll be exploring the module's latest features and capabilities, including attendance, trend analysis, and staff attendance summary. We'll also demonstrate how to seamlessly integrate attendance with payroll processing. So I'm excited to share these insights with you and help you streamline your attendance, the whole entire attendance management process. And today we have a special guest. But before I bring I think I'll allow you, Mr. Alex, to invite the special guest, to be the one to talk about the special guest.
Okay, good morning, everyone. So my name is Alex. Today we have Mr. Shola Animashao. Mr. Shola has been teaching in the UK for more than 20 years now, and he has also helped set up a lot of schools in the UK, and also in one of my favorite towns in Slough. He set up a lot of schools there. So today he'll be giving some introduction. He will talk about attendance and their own practices in the UK, and also he will talk a bit about safeguarding. By the time we are done with this intro session, then we go to the practicals. Thank you so much. Let's go. Mr. Shola, it's your time.
Right. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this very, very important session being hosted by Educare Technology. I'll start by just a brief introduction about myself. I've been in education for over 25 years. I was trained as a qualified teacher in the UK in about that time, and ever since then, it's been hard work, perseverance, and making sure that every child matters anywhere I go to. I currently work as a consultant for a multi-academy trust in the UK where we manage a group of schools, and all we do every day is just to make sure we put our students first. So today's session is one of the most important aspects of education. Parents entrust their children onto the teachers, onto the schools. If it's a boarding school, it is for a whole term or a whole year. If it's in a day school, it is from that maybe 7 o'clock in the morning till 3 o'clock. So the safety and well-being of the children are of our utmost importance. Now, it depends on the type of school we run, but I'll come to that separately when I look at attendance in terms of why the records must be kept and any other thing. But what I'll start with is this. Every day at school counts. Every day a child attends school counts. It doesn't really matter what the child does, but a child being in school is additional knowledge and wisdom for that child. So there is also a very clear evidence that attendance is highly linked with attainment. And that is where we begin to look at it in different perspectives. In a boarding school, attendance is almost, yes, a normal thing that every child will attend lessons. Okay. In a day school, some children will miss school because maybe they've not left home or they've left home and they've gone somewhere. And that is where attendance really matters. So every day in school actually matters. For the school's obligation, it is a legal obligation or legal entitlement for every school to take and keep attendance. That is for several reasons. So this attendance affects it for students, most importantly, and also for the staff. So I'll give you a very short scenario. It happened some times ago. I can't remember the year now. A child was marked in present in school. And actually, that child was not in school. So a crime was committed somewhere in the neighborhood, and that child became a suspect. So when the police came around, they actually said, yes, this child has been marked in at the time where the offense happened. but actually that child was not in school. So actually the school authorities got into a very, very big problem, because that means they could not account for the child. So as school leaders or as schools, it is our legal obligation to make sure that we are able to account for every staff and every student in the school. If we keep proper records, then you never know. Anything can happen. Yes, you can defend yourself to say, yes, our attendance record is there, and we know it is really, really accurate. So attendance is not just marking people in, it's to make sure you mark it at the correct time and it is accurate representation of facts, because it is a legal obligation and it is a legal document which can be used at any time. It can be called for at any time in the court to defend yourself. So that's the importance of attendance, and everybody should please endeavor you do attendance and you keep proper record of it. So I will indulge Educare, please, the attendance module. Can you make sure that you keep the attendance of most of the students of the schools safe and secured, just that in case if it is needed, you can easily pull it up and it can be used as evidence or as for anything to defend yourselves. So since the pandemic, there's been an increase school absence. So that means a lot of children are missing out of school. And at the moment, it's a big problem for the government. It is a big problem for people in education, because students have to be in school. So attendance tracking is very, very important. Now, when you take attendance, it's also an aspect of your safeguarding and your duty of care to the children, because it shows you care for them and they know that you're actually watching them. At every point, you must know where your children are. So for most schools, I will recommend you take attendance twice in a day. That is for day schools. It's quite different for boarding schools. So for day schools, you take it when they come in the morning, regardless if it's a boarding school or if it's a day school. You take it in the morning before they start lessons. If you feel your school is a bit loose, you take attendance every lesson. So every time they go to every lesson, yes, the teachers must take attendance for some reasons. If you take attendance at the start of the lesson, any child who is late will be marked late, and that counts towards the number of lessons or the number of hours that child has missed in that lesson. So please take attendance first thing in the morning as a whole school attendance to register everybody in the school. When you take attendance during every lesson, the purpose of that is to account for punctuality. Now, the punctuality things comes in, and I'll talk about that later. Let me finish this one first. So when you take attendance in the morning, you take it during every lesson. You take it in the afternoon. Then the children can go home. If it's a boarding school, yes, when they get to their hostel, the hostel parents must keep attendance when they come in, because you must account for the children at every hour. Before they go to bed, you take attendance. When they go for their night prep, you take attendance. You don't want any child to slip through the net and they are somewhere doing something silly. When you take attendance at those times, you're marking in, yes, they've come in, but they are late. If they come in late, that 5 minutes, 10 minutes, they are late, where were they? Somebody should be asking that question. They might have been somewhere. They might be doing something silly. You don't know. So you take attendance to say, yes, you've been late 3 times today to your sessions. Pull up the child and let the child tell us what he's been doing or what she has been doing. Do you understand? If it's something you can say, yes, please, can you make sure you attend promptly? Now, the statistics which I don't have now is that the first 10 minutes of every lesson is one of the most important part of the lesson. So you want your children, you want every child to be prompt to their lesson. They must not miss that starter activity. They must not miss that introduction. Okay, it's not impossible that the starter activity contains the major ingredients of what they're going to learn for the day. So if you don't take attendance, then students will not attend lessons on time, and the teachers will start the lesson once it's time. When they miss every 5-10 minutes of the lesson, then it's going to affect their attainment. At the end of the day, what are we there for? We are there to give the children a good experience of coming to school, a good learning experience for a good outcome. Schools want the outcome. We want excellent results. We want perfect results. How do we achieve this? These are little things we have to do just to make sure that, yes, our children are having a good experience of school. So punctuality goes with attendance. And to mark punctuality is every lesson, you're marking them in. Anybody who is late, you're putting late. A good practice I like to do is if you are late to my lesson, straight away, you know you are going to make up that time you are late for after school. That might not be practicable in every school. So it's up to the schools to come up with whatever thing works for them, such that every child who is late to lessons every day, there's a consequence for you being late to lesson. If you are late to lesson for a genuine reason, then you will have a note which will be minuted on the attendance thing to say you were late because you were with the head teacher. You were late because you were in the clinic. Okay. However, any reason that is not genuine for children to be late, please, the schools need to make sure you look into it and you manage the situation very well. Okay, so that is that for attendance, safeguarding, and everything. And I'll repeat again, it is a legal requirement for every school to take attendance. And you must keep your attendance record for as long as possible. Do not destroy them, do not throw them in the bin. Right, so how does attendance affect attainment? Yeah, this is not an essay. It is a fact backed up by research and everything. So I'll just give you the data now. For primary school children who attend school nearly every day in year 6, they are 30% more likely to reach the expected standards in reading, writing, and maths compared to similar pupils who attend 90 to 95% of the time. So 90 to 95% is just maybe 1 or 2 days off. So if you take 1 or 2 days off, then you are 30% likely, okay, to fall behind compared to people who attend 95% to 100%. So 1 day, 2 days out of school means a lot. And I know, and I'll use myself as an example, if you miss school, and just like I know it's popular, it's common in Africa, it's common in Nigeria, where children have to skip classes. If you are meant to be in primary 1 and you're fast tracked to go to primary 2, yes, you're going to miss out a big chunk of the curriculum, and that would affect you throughout your life. If you are meant to be learning how to write in primary 1 and you are not in that session, you're going to miss it forever. You will not be able to write well because you've not been taught properly how to write. If it's spelling, if it's phonics, you will be missing out because you've not attended school on that day. So attendance, 100% attendance, yes, if possible. And what you're meant to do as a school is to reward students for attendance. You've got to reward them. If it's a boarding school, reward students who are punctual to every lesson. Do it as often as possible. Use it to motivate them to be punctual to their lesson, to be on time to lesson, and to make sure that they attend every day. It stops students from going to the clinic. It stops them from hiding here and there to attend meetings and the rest of them. Okay, so that's that for primary school. There's a strong link in the secondary school, which is even stronger. Year 11 pupils, that's year 12 in Nigeria, with near perfect attendance are most likely to achieve 5 grades in English and maths, compared to similar attendance of 90 to 95% of the time. In other words, missing just 10 extra days, just missing 10 days in a whole school year reduces the likelihood of achieving these grades by 50%. So that's the whole 50% just by missing 10 days. Okay, so you can see how important attendance is. At times, when children are in school, they might feel, oh, they are not doing anything, they are not learning. You know what? No, they are actually learning. They might be having their own experience in a different way. I think one of the sessions we'll do again is to look at differentiated learning, and I'll call it another name when we're doing the session, whereby, yes, it does not matter what the child is doing in the classroom. Okay, as far as the child is attentive, as far as the child is engaged, yes, they are actually learning. And that which they learn, they will retain a greater percentage of it because they are learning in a relaxed manner, in the way that suits them. Okay, so I'll just recap this and wait for some questions. Okay, unfortunately, I'll say fortunately, in the UK and in some advanced world, attendance is taken seriously. Parents are actually fined up to £10,000 if their children do not attend school, if they are persistent non-attendance. Okay, it could cost them. Also, children not attending school would affect their future choices and future career. There are sessions in schools which are organized to enable them decide what next step to take. So if they miss sessions like that, it creates a gap. Students not attending school or not being punctual to school will actually miss on maybe some life choices. So I would not want to state again how important it is. But staff, there are different ways you can keep staff attendance. I know a lot of schools, they attend them. Students, staff have to sign in. It's different in all schools. There's the argument that why do I need to sign in when I'm in school? But however, yes, if you are in school and you log into the school network, definitely you are in school. But still, schools will want to keep the time teachers turn up to school, because there is a recommended number of hours that every teacher needs to complete in the year. So if you are not logging yourself in every time, that means you are going to miss out on that required number of hours, which will impact on a lot of things for the school and for yourself as an individual teacher. However, I know in Nigeria it doesn't work like that. So, but please, can we just make sure that teachers are they attend schools, but they are actually punctual. If your school starts at 7, a teacher coming in at 10 minutes to 7 is actually late. If it starts at 7, yes, they should at least be there half an hour before the time. What that gives them is the opportunity to prepare for the day. If teachers prepare very well for their day, then they will have a good experience of what is going to happen. They will be in control of that day. If teachers come in late, then the whole day will be disrupted. So please encourage your teachers to come in at least half an hour before the start of the school day, so that they can prepare themselves, get their resources ready, and they can be relaxed and they can do their job well. Um, I think I'm going to stop there now. If there are questions, I don't know what will happen, what next will happen. If there
Yeah,
are questions, please, I'm happy to take questions. If not, I think I will start
yeah.
them in terms of the importance of attendance. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Shola. So the sequence of flow is we're going to do like a demonstrative session. After that, the questions will start coming in. So at that point, there will be questions for you as well. I also have some questions for you. So after this session, we will now bring up questions. Thank you so much, Mr. Shola. It was quite an insightful session. So at this point, let me go back to this place. Okay. Thank you. I hope everyone can see my screen. Mr. Shola, can you confirm if you can see my screen?
Yes, I can't see the screen yet.
You can see this
Oh,
screen.
yeah, I can see your screen. The dashboard, I can see your screen. Sorry, I can see your screen. Thank you.
Okay, great. So thank you, everyone. So I want us to go deep into how attendance works. So as a class teacher, as a subject teacher, once you log in, you will see the attendance notification. So this notification happens every single day. So once you come into school or you come into class, firstly, the simple thing to do is click on this, take class attendance. So it shows your current year group. So click on take class attendance. So once you click on take class attendance, now we have two attendance options. We have the morning and we have the afternoon. So by default, it shows in the morning. So let's assume everybody is in class by just looking through. You can simply click on mark all. Once you click on mark all, the system highlights present for everyone. However, let's assume Wike was absent and this time around authorized absent. So let's add reason for the authorized absent. So there are several reasons. It can be visa, it can be transport issues, school suspension. I'm also going to show you how you can add more reasons, right? So let me add family emergency. Parent requested she stays back at home. So, and I'm going to add this. So I'm going to show you how it will even be more interesting to see. So let's assume this other person was late, Udigwe was late, and I'm also going to make this person there's another Odigbe. Let me use Nwankwo as absent as well. So let me pick another reason. It can be academic competition. Yes, he is representing the school in Maths Olympiad. So I'm done with this. So by the time I'm done selecting if you're a NEET, then I'll just come down here and then click on submit at class attendance. Once I click on submit attendance, I'm done. I'm done for that attendance. So this is all the teacher needs to do, right? Remember, why is it still blinking? Because there is still an option for afternoon attendance. You can always turn it off. If you don't do afternoon attendance in school, if it's just morning, you can always turn it off in the settings. So now, let me log out as this teacher and then go back to the admin. So if I'm going back to the admin now, if you notice, there's already an attendance count, a total attendance of 34, right? If I click on this, it will take me to the attendance page. Today is 12th of August. Out of all the year groups, this is the only teacher that have taken attendance for year 7, year 8, nothing, year 9, year 10, year 11, and the prospective class. So if I click on this, it's also going to show me attendance activities. So remember, this is morning. This is also afternoon. Nothing has been done in the afternoon, but this is morning attendance. Let's say we had some altercations. I realized that this person was actually present on time and wasn't late. I can change it here. That's all. So you can see the attendance record here. And then, so this is the first stage, right? Now, let's go more deeply. On your dashboard, you also click on attendance. Once you click on attendance, I want us to go to, let's even see the attendance insights. So if you click on student attendance insight, click on show. Here, I can just pick, let me take a 30-day range for year 7. And I just want to use fixed day, and then I'm going to apply. So looking at this now, the system is going to generate attendance insight for year 7. So within this period, just a moment. Within this period, what am I pressing? Just a moment. Okay. Within this period, you notice that the girls in total are actually more present than the boys. You can see some insights. The attendance for the entire school was actually low. That is 66.46. You can see that the tardiness is high across schools, right? Now, you can see the average attendance of boys, which is 30.95. Average attendance of girls, which is 35.51, which in the real sense is actually quite low. Now, okay, this took the general. Just a moment. Let me go back to this particular filter. So now you can also see the trend. You can see the trend. You can see the lateness trend. Lateness trend is increased. So I can just sort, let me just show only lateness. I can click on this. So this is the lateness trend. It increased, it went down, it went up again, it went down, it went up again. You can see the trend across different days. On highlight, you will see the exact day. So these are the lateness trend, right? So why are these placed flat? It's because probably these are not school days. That's why there was no lateness mark. But you can see the trend. I want to see the absence trend. I can even compare it with lateness. I can even remove this. Let me just see the absentee trend. So you can see it here, going up, down. Total number of people absent is there, 16, 17, 10. So why is it high? It's because these are non-school days, right? Then it goes down to, and then it makes progress. I can also see the trend for present. So you can see the trend is similar to late. Here, these are not school days. So at the end of the day, you can turn on everything to compare the trend within the period that you've chosen. Now, if you come down here too, which I'm going to show you elaborately. So you can see here, the attendance table. If I go to page 4, if you notice here, this particular child, one call was absent because of academic competition. So you are not just going to see a table that shows you the presence and the absence and the rest. You're also going to see this. So now, aside from general, I want to look at a particular analysis for a particular child. So let me use week Erika for instance. So remember, what I'm doing now is no more general for the class. I want to do trend analysis for this particular child, week Erika. So I can see the absence is actually high, which is 68.1. So, is this actually quite troublesome? So we have to, something that we really, really need to look into. Frequent lateness detected. So you can see that the lateness detection is actually also very high. So maybe you may have to engage with the parents and the rest. So you can see the percentage of absence is way, way higher than the percentage of presence here. So if you go down here, you can also look at her own trend analysis as well. You can see her lateness analysis. Remember, this is within the time range. You can see the absence analysis. You can see when it soared very, very high. You can see her own present analysis. This is her most time, which is on this particular day. From these days, she has been completely absent. You can look at lateness, the same thing, right? So once you go down, you can also see the table. You can see the 2 days that she wasn't present within this most recent time, like yesterday, visa, immigration appointment. So as you hover, you actually know the reason why these children are up. So when teachers are marking attendance, they actually need to, I will show you how we can prefill this data. They actually need to indicate the reason. So it becomes very, very helpful for the school. So you can look at this. These ones are absent, present. So this is just at a glance. So how do you activate trend analysis? Most schools, if you have the admin right, what you need to do is go to settings, go to modules, then you look for attendance. You look for attendance. Just a moment. Okay, class attendance. Once you click on see class attendance, you just highlight this. Once you highlight it, students attendance inside, then you can just save. Once you save, log out and log in back, you can play around with trend analysis, just exactly what I'm doing now. Now, let's go back to class attendance inside. So I want to go to year 7, and I want to pick for the next 30 days, and I want to use exact dates, use these particular dates. So here, I'm going to view. So once I view, I can see the full attendance. But the interesting part of this is beyond just looking at this, which is similar to what we've already seen before, you can export this in PDF. If I click on export, this is what it's going to look like. When the state ministries of education come in, maybe they are looking for attendance records. Once you just click on export, you can print this and share with them. You can see all the attendance records from different dates. You can see everything here. You can see how everything is organized. You can see in different forms. This is both landscape and the other view. Everything is here. So now, aside from this, you can also download in Excel as well. So the same format you can see in PDF, you can also see it in Excel. Then there's something else I needed to highlight. Under attendance, which I can come in through here, or I can just come in through here. Any of the options works. You may also want to see some insights. If I click on this, total attendance insights, you can, let me say I want to pick just yesterday and today and apply. I want to use that for my search. I can export this as well. So once I export this in PDF, this is the kind of insight it's going to show me. It's going to show me a more interesting summary, attendance summary within these 2 periods. Total present for total absent 2. You can see for this particular day, which is on the 11th, you can see the attendance for this particular year group. Now, after that, I have for another day, which is on the 12th. I can see the attendance summary again for the 12th. So this is how you can always export your data. It's just that simple. So this is another one. Now, let me go back. Sorry, before I get to staff attendance. So from here, that's actually how you can play around this, get your insight as much as you can. So it makes it a lot more interesting. So now if you go to settings, this is where we can add the reasons. You can edit reasons, you can delete reasons, you can add new reasons. You can add new reasons and add. So it helps when teachers are trying to mark attendance or great reasons for absence. They can always pick any of the reasons and elaborate on it. Then we can have attendance status. So these are the attendance status currently. You can reorder them: present, absent, lateness, or marked. Correspondent, who are the people that get notified when attendance is completely marked. So you can add more staff as you wish. You can add more staff as you wish. Daniel Williams, for high school, you can add them as you wish. So this is at a glance how this works. So now let me quickly jump into staff attendance. It's also not going to take us time before we go to question and answer session. So here, for you to do it, so as a school, it's from the HR bit. So normally, how do we do this? Probably you need to have like, it works with multi-hardware. You can have like a laptop, a tablet, or anyone that is dedicated. So this also uses geofencing, meaning that once you activate it, it's going to work within the fencing area. So right now, this location is inactive. So once I activate it, the system is going to pick up. So you can only take attendance with this device within that fence area. So you can't do it outside the school. So right now it's active. So, but before I get to taking attendance, I want to look at some configurations. So looking at the baseline configurations, you want to set, okay, teachers, when do they resume work? So is it 7:30 or do you want them to resume by 7:10? If it's 7:10, you update the time teachers resume work. So what happens is whenever you take attendance, the system understands when you are meant to resume, when your role is meant to resume. So if you come in a minute after you are meant to resume, the system automatically marks you as late. So that is how it works. So here for the principal, when does the principal resume? Maybe 7 a.m. When does the instructors or head? So you can create multiple roles from the settings. Librarian, when do they resume? They can resume by 7:30. So you can add more roles. I believe the admin of different schools knows how to add more roles. So adding more roles is very simple. From settings here, you can come to module permission manager, and then here you can add more roles. You can add roles and set up this. So admin has the privilege to do a lot of these things. So after this now, going back to HRM, so here, attendance. How do I take attendance? It's very simple. So once they come in, this interface is basically what's going to be open. Let me get a staff code. Before now, let me get a staff code. Every staff in the system, whether teacher or not or non-teaching staff, they have a staff code in their profile. So the system automatically generates staff code for everyone. So if I come in here, this staff code is 4970. So if I go to HRM, click on this and go to access control. So here, basically teachers, nobody needs to go through this. From here, they will see a device which will just simply ask them to sign in. Once they come to work, they see this. You can work perfectly in any of this hardware. Sign in 4970. That is the staff code. Once you click on it, the system captures you. The next thing is they click on start capture. So once you click on start capture, so the system will now take a snapshot and then start capture, take a snapshot, confirm capture. That's all they need to do. Once this is done, they click on submit. They have taken attendance for the day. So the system already knows when you came in. So at the end of the day, it comes here, lets other people take their attendance. So now this is what happens. On this interface, once I refresh now, automatically, the system have already captured the attendance. The system has captured the attendance. This particular teacher has 10 working days, has clocked in once, present twice, absent 3 times, punctuality 1. So if I click on this, let me show you. If I click on this, no matter where you are, I mean, if you have the admin rights, I mean, you're running your school from the UK or anywhere you are, you'll be seeing their faces. You'll be seeing the IPs. These are the IPs that uses to create ranges. You'll be seeing their IPs. This is basically how the system works. So, but aside from that, if I click on this and I scroll down, I can see the attendance. Why did the system mark it late? Because as a teacher, I'm meant to resume work at 7:10. So anything outside of 7:10 is already marked late. So this is also if I want to generate my report, I can also generate my report in PDF and look at my report in PDF. I can also generate my report in PDF here within this period. Look at the teacher here. I have Mikel Obi, right? I can generate my reports. So at the end of the day, this is how the system handles everything. So with this, there are some other configurations. We're going to share the video with you on how to configure it for payroll. We can't do it in this particular session. So what happens here in that one is very simple. By the time your attendance, if you say, okay, that lateness is 500 naira or 1% of the salary, you can pre-configure them. When somebody comes late, the system automatically does the slashing. When somebody comes early, the system doesn't do any slashing, so that during your salary time, you can now reduce the several hours or weeks trying to sort out the money that you slash them. So the system can do it automatically, and then once you process salary, it will capture the information. So this is at a glance how our attendance system works. So it's already live in every single school. You can start using it, and I mean, you don't need to. So why is this superior to biometric? Meaning that it actually works across all devices. Biometric is good, but it has a lot of limitations. So, but this one works across all devices, and it gives you your record in real time, and you can see their faces. Sometimes you use it to even monitor how your staff dress to work. I mean, if you're a school leader, probably you don't come to work every day, but this also helps you to know how they dress to come to work every day. So when you are evaluating them, you can look at why were you dressing like this? Why were you looking tacky? There are so many use cases here that actually look quite interesting, but this is actually how the system handles it. Thank you so much. So at this point, Mr. Botex, are you here? Mr. Botex, are you here?
Yes, please.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Alex, and thank you so much, Mr. Shola, for your presentations. At this point, we'll open the rooms for questions. If you have any questions, if you have concerns, clarifications, this is the moment for Q&A. So you can indicate by raise of hand. We'll invite you and call you up. Okay, we have the first hand, Omonike. You've been asked to unmute. Could you please unmute and then go ahead? Omonike, go ahead,
yeah.
please.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Very well. Go ahead, please.
All right. So my question is, in the situation where we have about 2-3 people coming in the same time, so how would we do it if you are using just one system to mark the attendance?
You can have multiple devices.
Okay. So can I, as a staff, use my system to do that, or it has to be from the HR?
It's not recommended. It's not recommended. It's recommended that schools have dedicated devices for attendance.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome, Omonike. All right. The next person is Oluwafemi. Could you please unmute and then go ahead and ask?
All right. Good morning. Please, can you hear me?
Yes.
Very well. Good morning.
Okay. Thank you very much. I have two questions. Then I also want to make a point in terms of individuals using their devices or system to mark attendance. So my first question is it possible for a school to remove dates school is not open in the attendance sheet so that we can have something more clearer instead of seeing some empty spaces? Is it possible?
Alex, can I take that?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I was going to talk about that when you were showing the demography or the data for the graph for attendance. Right. I will first of all recommend that every school should have a dedicated attendance officer. Now, if school, for example, school is closed now, the register should be marked as a day for non attendance of school. So it should be blocked as non-attendance. So, for example, if it's a bank holiday or a public holiday, a day school will just mark everybody in the school as not being in because it's not a school day. So I think Educare should create a code for school closures or not school days so that it's generically marked for everybody in the school.
Oh,
Right. So
yes.
that's for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
We actually do have it. Sorry, in settings, attendance.
Okay. So in the settings, I think the administrator for the schools should just mark everybody
Oh,
as
yes.
not
So we
non-school
have it.
attendance. Okay.
You can set,
Yeah.
you can say, like, for instance, you can set the days that I meet and break. If I'm adding an
Yeah.
event,
Yeah.
I can say
Okay.
within this particular period, let's say is maybe inter-house sports for 2 days or something. I can call it inter-house sports. Inter-house sports. So automatically the system doesn't count these days in the attendance.
Okay, that's fine. I think I have another question.
Go ahead.
For the staff attendance, please kindly confirm if I'm still audible.
I can hear you clearly.
Okay, for the staff attendance, are you not looking forward to option of integrating other systems with the platform like the biometric clocker? Yes, you have made a point about the advantage of your system. But at times, resources are already on ground. It may not be easy for a school to just quickly, smoothly transit into this new idea that you're bringing up. So if they have a system on ground before, are you not looking into maybe the school integrating their system with your system?
So this is actually the challenge that happens with current biometric systems. Current biometric system doesn't offer API accesses, right?
Okay.
So the implication is that is actually making it practically impossible for external systems to connect to their hardware, whether it's
Okay.
ZKT, whether is any of the concurrent hardware. So you have two options, either to make your own hardware or to provide a much better alternative. So that is the reason why we can't interface with current hardware at the moment.
Okay. That makes sense. Thank you very much. And finally, I'm sorry for taking our time. You make mention of the fact that there is better for school to provide a dedicated system for staff to take their attendance. And you also mentioned the fact that we can set a perimeter for taking the staff attendance, and there will be picture attached to it. Would it not also be good for you to advise school to allow staff to also use any of their devices? Because at times it could really be cumbersome, even if you have provided like 3 or 4 devices where we have large population of teachers, people will start queuing to take attendance, even with 10 devices, where we have bigger school, that's also a possibility. So since perimeter is set up, is it not fair enough for anybody to log in with their devices?
We will look into it. We'll look into it.
Okay.
Yes. We will look
Thank you.
into it.
That's all from me. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much for the feedback.
Yeah, Alex.
All right,
I
thank
think
you.
to add to that last question, it doesn't take 2 minutes for anybody to sign on. Alex, roughly how long does it take for people to sign in?
Maximum is 3 minutes. Maximum is 3 minutes.
Okay, so I do not foresee a situation where you have 10 teachers arriving at the same time. So I don't think it will be a problem if you have multiple systems for attendance, maybe about 3 or 4 dedicated desktops or laptops. It should be very fluent in terms of people registering themselves.
Yeah, which is actually the ideal case.
All right, thank you. Next to speak, Obi Awugosi. Please, if you can unmute and speak.
Okay.
Good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you so much. Okay, I quite appreciate this training and all that it's open for us as a school. But then I have 2 questions. Number one, this training, this webinar, can we have this recorded version? Can it be made available to schools? so
Definitely.
that we can all, because I am the one here now, I still have an admin that has to go through it to be able to know how it works and what needs to be done. That's number one. And also, I came in a little bit late because of I had a meeting before this. So I'm wondering if this webinar can be made available for us
Yes,
to really,
Sure,
really take
yes.
time to.
it will. It will definitely will.
Okay, good. Thank you so much, Alex, for this. Then, secondly, I also think that the system currently is a little bit cumbersome because having just one person or two dedicated to take attendance, I think it could actually cause a little bit of problem because it's also time bound. There are sometimes about two, three, four staff can come in at the same time. So what happens? Maybe
That's
if it takes an approximate of 3 minutes for one person to be registered, it means that if I come in like 3 minutes to the end of time, or two or three people coming to the end of time, one or two people may be logged out.
I
So I
think
think a system where it's made easier, just clocking, like what we usually have currently, just clocking, anybody comes, so you know that job within a second you're done, you're into the school. So I think if that configuration is done, it will also help for more efficiency across school. I'm just thinking, it's a suggestion to me.
thank you for the suggestion. But what I said here is maximum of 3 seconds. If you notice when I did my demo, probably didn't take up to 20 seconds, right? Or even less. Yes, so it depends. But another thing we are going to introduce much later is probably we are going to introduce a capability that maybe will give you option not to enable photo, just to put your code and then go in. So for people who doesn't really care about the photos, then they can just put in their code, sign in and leave. So maybe that capability can
Okay,
probably streamline it down to maybe like 3 seconds or 4 seconds. So we are probably going to add that
okay,
capability.
okay, that's awesome. Please, can I say one last word
Go ahead, please.
Go ahead,
before I
please.
go? Okay, please. I noticed a lot of the webinars that has happened in the past. I'm also appealing. Is it possible for us to also have those recorded, or probably a link where it's been posted so that we can run it as a training in my school, so the entire school gets to know what needs to be done across all the key areas.
Yes, we have them in our channel.
All right, all right, all right.
You
All right,
will
thank
get it.
you so
I
much.
will ensure we send it across to you.
All right, thank you so much. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
the
Thank you for your All right, thank you for your contribution. All right, next we want to listen to Glory. Glory, please. You can unmute and speak.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good
Okay,
morning.
so about the class attendance. I see you're logged in as an admin. I am also logged in as an admin, yes. But the features, the icons, attendance setting, view class attendance, view students class attendance. I see that you have student attendance insight, but what I have there is add class attendance. Can you address that?
I don't know if you paid attention to what I said earlier. From the settings here, in case you can't see the students inside, if you go to
Okay.
module permission manager, that's if you have this privilege, you can look for attendance. Once you look for attendance here, class attendance here, you click on it. Once you click on it to bring it live, by default, it will be unchecked. Once you check it here and you click on updates, just log out and log in back. And if you come here, you will see it.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, next, Kingsley Emmanuel. Kingsley Emmanuel, are you able to unmute? Go ahead, please.
Yeah, okay. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and
Yes,
clear.
very well. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. So my name is like you rightly said, is Kingsley Emmanuel, and I've got like 3 questions to ask.
Okay.
Number one question: what the various interfaces you displayed on our screen? I would want to ask is this strictly for admin?
The first part I showed was actually for teachers. That is
Hello?
where attendance is being taken.
Okay. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me,
The
sir?
first part I showed was for teachers, which is where the attendance is being taken. But the rest of the place that has to do with insights is strictly for the admin.
Oh, okay. Okay. That clears it. That's it. My last question would be regarding this staff attendance. A couple of persons have raised concerns about the timeliness of teachers. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Yeah. So I would want to ask, can't this staff attendance factoring for staff be made available to the staff rather than having one central point where all staffers would have to go to get captured?
Good. Firstly, we've already taken the first feedback. Secondly, we're also trying to see how we can maintain global best practice because there's always an entry point where people have to take attendance, right? So we're going to look at it and see the improvements we are going to make to ensure that we reduce the time it takes. Can you hear me?
Kingsley, would that be all for now?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I didn't get what you said. I didn't get what you said. I didn't get what you said. Can you come again with that, sir?
I said we've taken the feedback, like someone shared earlier. We've taken the feedback. So the first thing is that we're going to look at better ways to reduce the time. If it's taking us, let's say, 30 seconds to achieve attendance, let's see how we can reduce it to like 10 to 5 seconds, right? We're going to look at global best practices on how to be able to achieve that. Why do we make it by default central point? This is the best practice across everywhere in Europe, in America. So we also want to ensure that things are being done the right way. However, we're going to also explore some certain things to see how it's going to fit into our own local space. But we will make everything as an option. Anyone that fits into your school, then you can activate it.
Can we also get a recorded version of this training?
Definitely you will. It will be on our channel once we're done with this.
All right. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure.
You're welcome.
All right, thank you for your contribution, Mr. Kingsley. Next, we have Prosper. Prosper, please, if you can unmute.
Good morning.
Good morning, Prosper.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yes. All right. My question is basically on the student attendance. Okay. I have noticed that when teachers take attendance, they can't actually go back to view, except the admin. I don't know if there's a way that it is possible for teachers to view the attendance after they have taken the attendance. Hello,
Okay.
can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. Okay. This is why. In my school, we make use of the three options, right? Of the present, the late, and then not marked. Now, we have had complaints from parents who brought their children to school, but as at the time of taking attendance, they were marked absent. The reason is we can't take any child as late when we have not seen the child. And there is a certain time we take attendance. So if we see the child, but if the child has come in late, we take it as late. But if the child is not present, we take it as absent. So I want to know, is there a way they can go back so that we can make use of the option of not marked yet? So that when they see this child, they can go back and maybe take it as late. That's one. And then secondly, we have also noticed that reports are sent to parents once. That's the morning on. So I am thinking, what's the use of sending information in the morning and then we are not sending in the afternoon? Because that's one area we were actually cashing in on, whereby if the child is marked absent and then in the afternoon marked present, the parent would have been able to see that, oh, the child was marked absent because the child didn't get to school as at the time that the attendance was taken, but now the child is in school. So I want to know, is there a way the parents can get reports in the morning and get in the afternoon?
Okay. So firstly,
I think Mr. Shola, you want to react to that, the first question.
Yeah, let me react to the student side of the things, and you guys will react to the data part of the question. Right. Yes. If a child let's assume school starts at 8 o'clock. So in the morning at 8 o'clock, the class teachers can mark them in as present or absent. So the teacher will mark them as absent because they have not seen the child. If you cannot see a child, you cannot mark them present. However, if the child now comes to school or gets dropped off at 8:05, the child would go to the school office and register there. When the child is registering at the school office, the child will give the reason for coming late. So that's why I said it is good for every school to have a dedicated attendance officer. Now, that attendance officer or whoever is in the admin office taking the register for lateness would mark the child late and put the reason for coming late. A simple reason can be stuck in traffic. Oh, woke up late. It will be there. Then the child is sent back to class. At that time, when the child arrives in the lesson, the teacher is already teaching. The teacher will not have the time to go back to the attendance register again. However, because the child has been marked in as late from the office, it will reflect in the register for that class. Okay? Does that answer the question?
Prosper.
Mr. Prosper.
So,
I was trying to unmute again. Okay, that answers the question partly because you are saying the teacher does not have time to go back to marking or taking the attendance. So the dedicated officer should take it and then it reflects in the class register. Is that what you're saying?
yes, it should reflect, yes. So the person in the admin, when the child comes late to school, the child is going to go through the school office. It's not just going to walk into class. So the
Yes.
child goes to the school office and then they will mark the child in. When they are marking the child in, they are marking the child in, oh, you're late. What's the reason for being late? Because of this. What's the consequence? The child will know the consequence of coming late for that day. Then the child is sent to lesson. Now, by the time the child arrives in class, the teacher is already teaching. Would you expect a teacher to now stop and start marking the child in? Now, when I say the school should have a dedicated somebody for attendance, is this. If after 10, 15 minutes of the day, a child does not arrive in school, yes, the school will have to place a call to the parents to say your child is not in school yet, because 10 minutes into the day, or the start of the day, all the attendance in the school should have been taken. The attendance officer will look at the registers for all the classes and it will flag up those who are not in school. Those who are not in school, some parents might have called to say, oh, I've got a doctor's appointment for my child. So my child will be coming in the afternoon. The attendance officer will have noted it and marked it on the register. Okay? For children who have not been seen at all, it could be a child protection issue. It could be a safeguarding issue for the school. So they will straight away, maybe after 15 minutes or 20 minutes of the day, they will have to call the parents or 10 minutes to say, well, your child has not yet arrived at school. Oh, the parents can now say, oh, but I sent him to school an hour ago. Then it becomes a problem. In some organized world, yeah, the police will be contacted straight away because it might be a missing child. Something might have happened to the child along the way. And that is why I've said that attendance is a legal requirement for every school to take, and we must take it seriously. It's not just to tick the boxes, but it's for safeguarding and the protection of these children. Thank you.
Okay.
So much, Mr. Shola.
All right, Mr. Prosper, would that be all for now?
No, you've not answered the second part of the
So
question.
the
Now,
second part is it allowing
a report has already been sent out to parents that this child is absent. How do we rectify that?
that you made a mistake to send out a report that the child is absent?
No. As soon as the system ticks the child absent, a message is sent to the parent. That is what we have observed.
Okay.
Yes.
So where is the issue there?
The issue is it causes panic. One, let's take for instance, you are talking about 10, 15 minutes, but this child has arrived maybe 3, 5 minutes, but the register has been taken already, and the parents expected that the child must have come into school before that time,
I think
and now,
it should be more of a policy issue because the system is automated, right? And it's based on
yes,
instruction. So if you notice this pattern, right, maybe you can start taking attendance maybe 10 minutes or 15 minutes into the class, which is not recommended anyway. Or you encourage them to
not into the class. We take our attendance 7:30, 7:35.
then you
Sorry.
have to enforce that policy. You have to enforce that policy. It's important. So this is a policy issue, it's not a technology issue because the system is basically working based on instruction. So what I'm showing you here, you also mentioned a situation whereby teachers can see the attendance they took. So it's actually
Yes,
a settings as well. So once you allow teachers to view class attendance, once they come in here, they can always see class attendance and they can click on it and they can see in situation whereby just the kind of situation you just mentioned, right? They can always
yes,
change it here to present after even marking the
yes.
entire attendance. Yes.
Okay, so sorry for cutting you. How can we set this? Because I've noticed that this setting is only on the admin,
It's the admin that can do it. It's only admin.
and that's what I'm saying. The teachers can't view like
No,
this.
admin needs to let them, give them the privilege. So reach out to your admin, give you the privilege to view class attendance. That's all.
Okay, it's fine.
Yeah. Yes.
It's fine. All right. And then the issue of the second report. Can the report be sent home in the afternoon?
Definitely. So we are going to look at that one. Why it's not being sent home?
All
Or
right.
it should be sent home. If you send it in the morning, you should send it in the afternoon.
It's all right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right,
Mr.
thank you
Alex,
for your contribution.
yeah, Mr. Alex, I think what
Go
I can
ahead,
pick
please.
out from that man's question is this. I think he's saying that once the class teacher takes the attendance and the child is marked in late on marked in absent, the report goes straight away to the parents that the child is not in.
Yes.
So yeah, so what I'm suggesting is this. Because when the teacher is taking the register, maybe at 8 o'clock, and the report and the message is sent home straight away, your child is not in, can that time be delayed maybe for about 5 minutes, such that children who are late to school, who are being registered by the admin, they will not get the message that they are not in school.
Maybe what we can do in that case is we can introduce it maybe as an option. Maybe so you can now choose the time you want to delay in sending out attendance notification. So I think that will be a one size fits all for us. So anybody that wants to delay, some people can decide to delay for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, even a whole
Yeah,
day.
yeah, that would be good because it will be good for the admin or whoever is in charge of attendance to process all the non-attendance after they've registered, and then they now send the message that we've not seen your child, maybe, and this and this. Then the parents can respond, or they can start to take other safeguarding issues to make sure the child is safe.
Okay, definitely, definitely. We'll look at it. We'll look at it. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you for that contribution. I want to call on Oluwafemi. Please unmute and speak.
Okay, thank you very much. I just want to make a quick contribution as regards the challenge faced in is it Mr. David or Mr. Lawrence? I'm not sure if I can get the name anymore. Mr. Prosper School, yes. We had the challenge in my school too, and this is the strategy we used. I think we went in line of thought of Mr. Shola by having the dedicated officer for attendance. And we proposed that anytime the class teacher did not see the child in school, the class teacher shouldn't do anything. No mark whether present, absent, or late. So the class teacher should just leave it unmarked. So the dedicated attendance officer, all students that come, normally is a policy in my school that if you are going to come late, every parent should call the school ahead. So those who have called, the dedicated attendance officer will take note of them. And those who did not call, probably due to unforeseen circumstance or something, they go through the front desk, which the dedicated officer also will be present there. So the dedicated officer is the one that then marks them late or maybe at the end of the day absent if they didn't come to school. So instead of marking and the parent receiving message and panic, because we have had an issue where I think it was maybe a road safety officer disturbed the children's journey, and we already marked absent, and the parents was like, my children should have been in school since 7:30 and things like that. So it became a very big issue. So we have to adopt that strategy. So the teacher can leave it empty. The dedicated attendance officer will then do a follow-up and complete every other necessary detail, because as a parent, you can imagine what will happen when you get a notification that your child is not in school, when you're at work, knowing fully whether your child is in school. It can really destabilize the day. So that's just one suggestion I am going to put forward.
All right. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you so much.
Oluwafemi, for that contribution. All right.
Mr. Alex, can I ask, please, if the register is not complete, can it save?
If the register is not complete, definitely it will save.
It will still save if you don't mark anything on a child.
Yes, it will save. It will show it as not marked.
Okay, so that's better then. So I think each strategy is really very good. So if you leave it blank, then the attendance officer will update it maybe 5 minutes into the day, and then
So
messages
what
can be sent
happens
on
in
rather
that
than.
situation is, so how to mark that one is, this is a teacher. From the teacher's dashboard, if you want to mark it in such a way that some are not going to be marked, don't click on mark all, right? Let's say I'm doing afternoon attendance. Don't click on mark all. Just, you have to mark them individually. And the ones you didn't pick, the system is going to regard it as not marked. That's the way it's going to work.
Okay, great. All right. So, in the absence of no other hands, I'm trying to look out to see if there is any other concerns before we round up.
So we are going to get the video available on YouTube shortly after this session.
Yes.
Then, so Mr. Botex, there's one more. We have Abosede.
Okay. Abosede. All right. Abosede, please unmute and speak.
Hey, good morning, all.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get something. I've heard about the attendance issue, but I just opened to our own system now. I can't find the class attendance. Please, it's under where can I locate it? Because this is my first time of want to start using this kind of marking attendance
Are you logged in as an admin or as a teacher?
as an admin.
Okay, so what's the name of your school, please?
Hope Alive Model School.
Okay, okay, brilliant. So I think the first thing is to ensure that it's active from the settings. Like I mentioned, I'm back in admin. The first thing you need to be sure of is that your admin, your attendance is active. So the first thing to do is go to settings. By default, it should be available, but if not, hover here or click on this place, go to settings. Once you go to settings, go to module permission manager. Then you look for attendance.
The dashboard. Is it from the dashboard? I will go to settings.
Yes, from the admin dashboard, or you hover here, you can see my mouse, you see settings, or hover here, you see settings. So what's going to happen is if you need more clarification, just write on the group. The team will just guide you through on how to do these setups and everything.
Okay, you said I should do what?
If you have, you just write on the group, on the WhatsApp group, and the team will help you do your quick setup. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
Okay, so thank you so much.
All right. Next is
we
have 2 hands up. Wemi Sola, please, if you can unmute.
Okay, thank you. Good morning.
Good
morning, everyone.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
My name is Juliet David, a representative of Stray Gate School for Thrive. I have similar problem. I cannot add a student to the portal. I also cannot add parents because the way the portal is structured, you must have a parent and then the add the child. I can't add parents. I can't add a student as well. And at the same time, I cannot artificially thing I can do as an admin officer and the front desk officer is just to edit names, edit the children names and the parent names. I cannot do anything on admission on the portal. Everything is access denied.
Yes,
And I've been
so
reporting.
yes, so what you need to do is kindly reach out to Nena. Nena is your head, right? She will give you all the
Yes.
privileges you require. So it's not
Okay.
it's restriction, yes, it's restricted by the school. So reach out to Nena, she will assist you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Then
God's time.
I'll go to that.
Yes.
Okay. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Yes, Mr. Gostime from Kerrydale.
Okay.
Okay. My question is on attendance. We noticed this since last session that when we mark attendance for the day, let's say for example Monday, let's say everybody was present on Monday, and we marked present for everybody. Then getting to the next day, which is Tuesday, when you want to mark for the student again, let's say for example, if somebody is absent for that day and you want to mark, you will notice that all the children's name are all marked already. So sometimes teachers get confused. They don't get to resend the information because when it comes up again that everything is marked, like the green part of it, they'll feel like, oh, that means attendance for today is marked. You understand? They won't want to click on send by submitting it. So, and it was really an issue because sometimes they get to skip a day, sometimes they don't get to mark for that day. So I don't know if there's a glitch somewhere on the system in which you can actually look at this. That's why I have to raise it up.
Anyway,
Thank
we're
you.
actually hearing this for the first time here, and we'd love to actually find out how it happens in your school. So, maybe just write on your group. If there's a way we can simulate this particular instance, that would really help. Currently, it doesn't happen anywhere else, but we'd really like to see how it happens in your school so that we can help you to provide a solution if need be. So, but just write on the group. Someone from our team at school, and then resolve it.
All right. Thank you, everyone. We're about to round up. Before we round up, Mr. Shola, I would like to hear from you if you have anything to say as a parting words. We'd like to thank you so much for the valuable insights that you've given us in students' attendance and how important safeguarding is in school operations as well. So, this is your moment.
Okay, so thank you again, and I will say well done to everybody who has participated today as active participants. I will just reiterate that attendance is a legal requirement for all schools. It is also a child protection and safeguarding aspect of schooling. If a child is persistently absent, please flag it up with the parents, invite the parents for meetings to find out why they're absent. If a child persistently is late to lessons, please flag it up and attend to it. Get the guidance counselors involved, get the parents involved, because lateness to lesson, regardless of 5 minutes, 10 minutes, will affect the attainment of that child at the end of the term and at the end of the 5, 6 years they spent with you. For staff, attendance is also important to get them ready for the day so that they can deliver the work, the teaching and learning they are best at doing. If they prepare themselves well, if they're on time to school, then they can also prepare well and deliver good lessons every time. So, to round up, let's take attendance seriously. Let us use the attendance data to effect teaching and learning and also use it to drive the attainment of the children in our schools. Educare as an organization is doing all it can to make sure it gives schools the best, I would say, world-class platform to manage their schools. So I would say well done to Educare as well. A lot of features they have on their systems need to be used by schools, and they have to be used effectively to affect attainment and make sure that the children have a good experience of coming to school. Safeguarding and child protection is very important, and we can use this model, the attendance model, to flag up a lot of things. Let's take, for example, a child who is coming late to lesson every time. Yes, it might be a child protection issue. The child might be somewhere hiding, but if the child has not been marked in late for the lessons, the school cannot flag it up. If you persistently flag up a child attending classes late and the child is in school, then it becomes a child protection issue. The school has to be interested. Why are you always late to your lessons? Okay, so let's take this aspects of school very important and use the data we generate from it to effect changes in our children population. Thank you very much, and I hope you guys continue to enjoy your holiday.
Yeah, Mr. Shola, please, before you leave, I wanted to ask a question. Why I've noticed that most of the schools that use Educare in the UK and also in Europe, they take attendance on another level. I mean, it looks like attendance is like the most important thing for them. Remember when we've had different sessions, we spent several hours, weeks talking about attendance, reanalyzing a lot of things. I mean, many of these insights and analysis that we've developed are actually based on their request. So why is it so? Why does the government take attendance really that serious? And why is it different from our own local case?
Yeah. What is it is there's a charter of saying every child matters. So the government of these countries have taken every child to be the most important thing for them. If a child does not attend school, what happens? What's the child going to be doing at home? If you leave children out of school, what happens? Then that means the economy cannot run. Because if they don't go to school, it's either their parents are with them at home, and the parents are meant to work. When the parents work, they get taxed. When they get taxed, then they can pay the teachers, they can pay for other services in the country. So attending school is not an option. Every child within the school range must attend school. If you don't attend school, the local authority must account for where you are. So at every time between that 7 till 4 o'clock, the government wants to make sure that every child is engaged with an educational activity. Some children who have some challenging medical issues actually have specific areas where they are being taught. There are specific areas where they engage them. But because every child matters, you cannot leave any child not being attended to educationally in one form or the other out of the system. I don't know if you understand that, if that answers your question.
Yes, he actually did answer my question. Thank you so much. I think Omonike wants to ask a question. Mr. Botex, please let her speak. Maybe a round of applause.
I think that should be the final hand we'll take. And we'll channel. Monica, go ahead, please.
All right, thank you so much. Now, my question is, I noticed last section when we were trying to do our results, I noticed that the space for pupils, number of pupils absent, numbers of days that the child is absent is not showing. The data is not there. It shouldn't it be automated? Like it should automatically be added to the results since we are marking the attendance every day.
Okay, so the response is, can you put this in the group? The experts, our result experts will handle it. They will definitely address it. What's the name of your school, please? Monica, what's the name of your school, please?
Monica?
Straight gates, straight
Straight
gates
Gate.
to Magodo.
Okay, that's fine. Just engage on the group. Our team will respond very quickly. And they will help you resolve it. Okay, thank you so much. We're getting
All right.
Mr. Shola, we'll be needing you for different sessions. You know, we've had the timetable session earlier, but I think we may have to have it again this time around. There are some things that we need more expository on in terms of timetabling and planning, because we also believe that if the timetables are done more properly, it can also help to save a lot of cost and also save a lot of time and redundancy in school. We want to have those sessions, Mr. Shola. We really love you to come and speak. It's part of our sessions that are coming in. Other upcoming sessions, we're going to talk about school fees drive. We've developed like a groundbreaking system that can help you fully automate your school fees drive. So no more chasing students out of classes. You can have a much better approach that will help you get all your money without even creating any form of friction. Another thing, not talking about medicals, we've not even elaborated on HR. There's a lot of other things that we're going to talk about. So just stay tuned. We'll keep releasing different webinars at this rate. Then, Mr. Shola, we talked about the differentiated learning. We'll probably also have that session as well, where we're going to deeply talk about it. So these are basically everything we are doing here is to prepare our schools and to engage you in top quality training to ensure that you are prepared and you do the right thing all the time. Thank you so much, and we do hope you have an amazing weekend. And if you always have any issue, feel free to write on the group. Write on the group. Our expert teams will definitely respond to you well, so that we can ensure that you are satisfied all the time. We'll make the video available on YouTube after this session so that you can always reference it. Thank you so much, and do have an amazing day.
Thank you, Mr. Alex, Mr. Botex, and to all the participants. And wish you a great holiday. Continue to enjoy yourselves. But I know teachers, we don't have a holiday, so continue to prepare your mind and yourself for the next session. Have a great day.
I use
Thank you. Bye for now.